So the other day, one of my new subscribers came in and asked me a question. They said, can you do a fragrance list where you talk about some of your favorite fragrances that have booze in them? And so I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I went through my collection, and surprisingly, they wanted non-discontinued fragrances, ones that are easily accessible. And I went through, and I have like 20 boozy fragrances that are like my favorites that are discontinued. But when it comes to non-discontinued, I had to think for a second. But with that said, today we're going to be going through and talking about some of my favorite boozy fragrances, whether it's rum, vodka, it doesn't really matter. There's going to be the note of booze in these fragrances, whether heavy or light. I will be letting you know that. So top 10 boozy fragrances. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back at you with doing some whiffing and some sniffing and talking about some of my favorite fragrances with booze in them. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Everybody else, hit that like, comment below. Let me know what some of your favorite boozy fragrances are. Again, one of my new subscribers came in. They were asking me to do a video of top 10 rum fragrances, top 10 bourbon fragrances, top 10, and I responded to them. I honestly, if I had to go through my collection, I think I probably have 10 rum fragrances, maybe like 9 bourbon fragrances. I was like, so if I was doing a top 10 list, it would basically just be the 10 I have list. So I said, what about doing a video where I just combine some of my favorite boozy fragrances? And they said, yeah, absolutely, as long as it's ones that are easily accessible. So I took that as not discontinued and easily found out in the wild. And so, yeah, that was difficult because if I go through my collection, I have like pure malt. I have CH, a couple of CH boozy fragrances. I have a lot of boozy fragrances that are discontinued. And so I was like, ooh, that's a head scratcher. So it took me some time. I went through it and I was like, okay. So I think I got it narrowed down to a list of fragrances that have booze in them. Whether it's light or heavy, I will let you know as I'm talking about them. But 10 of my favorite fragrances with the note of booze in it. I'm going to do 2 runners up here. One, just to show you one of my discontinued favorites. Obviously, there's Pure Malt. I talked about that a ton, showed you my bottle. That and Pure Havana is not boozy, but they're kind of like semi-twins. Just one's more malty and one's more on that Xerjoff Naxos style. With that said, this is CH Men Privé. This is your leather jacket. I mean, it even comes in like a flask. It's your leather jacket boozy fragrance. It's booze, it's leather, it's spice. It's absolutely delectable. If you're looking for that going into a bar, smelling like wearing a leather jacket fragrance, that's exactly what this smells like. I mean, you could be a cowboy and be wearing this. I'm telling you, that's exactly what this is made for. It is for the person who is rough and tumble, masculine, wants to be looking to just smell like leather, booze, and spice. I mean, if you get pulled over and someone smells this on you, you're probably going to be like, dude, you smell like alcohol. I'm just telling you. That's CH Men Privé. And then the other runner-up is Xerjoff Uden. Xerjoff Uden is one of my favorite fragrances. It could easily be on this list. But because the note of booze is light, much, much, much lighter, I wouldn't really consider this a boozy fragrance. In the opening, it's almost like if you took Chanel's Edition Blanche and you had more like a citrus salad instead of lemon, and it was like a citrus salad cream pie. That would be the opening, like 15, 20 minutes. And then it gets into more of this semi-boozy coffee fragrance mixed together with that opening. I really love this stuff. It's absolutely amazing. It's a great transitional season fragrance, but you can really wear it all year round. But anyway, getting into my 10 list. This isn't like 10 through 1. I'm just going to do them in any order. The one I'm actually wearing today, this one is not talked about. I'm not sure if it's discontinued. I know that they Still sell it online. I found it for like 45 bucks, but it is by Zara. It's called Rich Warm Addictive from their tobacco collection. I know they changed the bottles up, so the bottle might look different just in case you're looking. This one, it has like different facets to it. Yes, it's a tobacco fragrance. Yes, it has like this tropical vibe to it, but it also has this kind of amber boozy smell to it. It really just smells like almost like a conglomeration of, like, literally if you go to the beach and you order one of those unique drinks that they might have, that's kind of what this smells like. It's dark, it's warm, it's rich, it's addictive, and then it has this kind of like tropical nuance on top with almost like this Malibu rum mixed in. That's what the fragrance smells like, and I absolutely love it. For the price that I got this for, which was like $14 at the time, there is nothing that beats this for the price if you're looking for a rich, warm, and addictive fragrance that lasts 8+ hours. Rich, warm, and addictive is absolutely amazing. Going into a different type of booze. While this isn't the booziest fragrance, the entire line is made after moonshine, including the bottle and stuff like that. It's an indie brand. This is called Copperstill XXX Watermelon Shine. You can see how much I used. Absolutely love the stuff. If you want one of the most, if not the most naturalistic natural water, it's leaking. You can see it leaked. Natural watermelon smells out there. This is going to be it. What it smells like is it smells like literally like if you just cracked a watermelon open and then had a little bit of like a candy-like vibe to it. And then underneath that, you just had a slight bit of moonshine. A very slight bit. It's not very boozy. And then when you get to the dry down, you get sassafras, which comes across almost like a watermelon root beer. And I love the stuff. But that has moonshine in it. They also have a new one that just was released. They have 3 now, but the one that was just released last year was like cherry punch or shine punch. That's like a cherry pineapple moonshine. It's like a pineapple upside down cake kind of. I not really. I mean, it's go watch my review. I haven't tried it since last year, so my mind's a little bit warped on it. But I know it does have cherry and pineapple in it, and then it has that moonshine underneath. Anyway, going into the next one. Another one that's not heavy on the booze, but it's known for having booze in it. This is Bvlgari Man In Black. Similar to that of Spice Bomb Extreme, I like this better. This has booze, it has iris, it has the powder. It's a black pepper vanilla bomb that has booze and iris underneath it. That's the best way to really describe this fragrance. Again, another addictive, more wintertime centric fragrance. So if you're looking to buy something now, unless you're living on the other side of the equator, I wouldn't really look for this fragrance until the fall. But Bvlgari Man In Black, I don't talk about it enough because I don't get that much wears out of it because of the powdery tones to it. But when I do, I love it. It's more of like a special occasion fragrance for me. Like if I'm getting dressed up to go out with my wife on a really cold night, this is something that I would wear. But it has just a nice little boozy tone that is underneath there, just to add a little bit of depth to the fragrance. I wouldn't say it's overly boozy, but really none of the fragrances on this list are overly boozy so far. Of the ones I've mentioned, not including the Carolina Herrera, the Zara Rich Warm Addictive is the one that smells like the most booze. But then that will change when I mention this one. This one is actually just like Copperstill. This is a distilled blend. It's called Cremo Distiller Blend. There's also another one by them. It's like bourbon and whiskey or something like that. Cremo, you could buy it at Walmart at one point in time. I'm not sure if you still can, but they are a cheap brand that smells like they could be a $100 brand sold at Macy's. They do some fragrances, like there's one that people call a clone of, again, Spice Bomb Extreme, but I like it better. Really, really good. It's called Spice and Black Vanilla. But this is Distillers Blend. There's definitely a nice bourbon whiskey mixture in this fragrance. It smells, again, this is probably the most boozy, not including the Carolina Herrera, but I mean, this one smells like booze. But because it's a distiller's blend, It is a very, sometimes if you get a really high quality liquor, they don't actually smell that much like liquor. Sometimes they smell like spices. Sometimes they have hints of sweetness. If you are getting the cheaper brands, then you're going to get that, ooh. But if you actually know what like Distillers blends and what high quality liquors smell like, depending on the one, you get subtle aromatic nuances that just make you say, okay, I wouldn't think that was somebody that was walking out of a bar. And that's what this one does. While you can still tell that it has this bourbon whiskey mixture, it still has a bit of spice and sweetness underneath it. I believe there's a little bit of tonka. But it also has a freshness. So where it is a transitional season fragrance, I would easily wear this in the spring. If you're looking for something inexpensive that smells high quality and you want a little bit of booze mixed in, but a high quality smelling booze, that is what Cremo's Distillers blend smells like. Now going into another one that is not super boozy, but it's a great one to wear if you're going on to a beach. This is Creed's Virgin Island Water. It has that kind of like Malibu Bay or Malibu rum style rum in it. This is more of your effervescent citrusy fragrance. It has a little bit of spice, a little bit of fruitiness, obviously, but Virgin Island Water has just a little bit of this kind of like Malibu spiced rum underneath it. That's what it reminds me of. It has that like coconutty vibe. So while it's not an overly boozy fragrance, if you want to smell almost like a lime pina colada kind of thing, that's what Virgin Island Water gets you. It's more on that effervescent, zesty citrus side because of the lime. But yeah, put the lime in the coconut and stir it all up or whatever. That's what this reminds you of. It just reminds you of a beach vacation drinking pina coladas. And it's fantastic. Virgin Island Water is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. So if you just want a little bit of a boozy punch to it, that's not going to really do the boozy side. It's just, again, just like the Bvlgari Man in Black, you can tell that it's there, but it's more of just a bottom note to give you a little bit of depth to the fragrance. Going into the next one. This one, of all of the fragrances in this list, as far as the boozy note is concerned, I would say that this is probably my favorite as far as just going straight for the bourbon and adding some sweetness. This is a fall and winter scent straight through. This is Bourbon Street by Hez Parfums. This fragrance is sweet, has a little bit of almost like a nutty smell to it, but the bourbon in this is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, you really cannot go wrong when it comes to talking about this fragrance. I love this stuff. Always have loved this stuff. There's a reason why I talked about it a lot. It's just because the bourbon in that, the sweetness in that, the vanilla or tonka, I can't remember what else is in the fragrance. All I know is that it is your sweet, ambery, rich, boozy fragrance that is just stellar. It is absolutely stellar. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just absolutely everything right with it. Bourbon Street is fantastic. If you're looking for a boozy fragrance out of every one of the ones that I'm saying here, if you're looking just for straight, warm, rich booziness, then, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Going into a different type of booze, if you've ever smelled a Washington apple, which ideally enough it was actually created in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is where I'm from. This kind of has that same kind of smell. This is Killian Apple Brandy on the rocks, and I'm going to do a twofer. We're also going to include Killian Angel Share. I didn't want to mention, I mentioned this all year round because it's like one of my favorite fragrances, if not my favorite fragrance. But you can't go wrong with it. Warm, boozy, cinnamon bun drink is Apple Brandy on the rocks. It smells like a boozy cinnamon bun. This smells like a Washington apple. This one leans slight more unisex than that one, but this is, if you haven't, a Washington apple is cranberry juice mixed with like that sour apple pucker. That's what this smells. It smells like that. It doesn't have that cranberry to it, but if you literally just took the cranberry out and you had the sour apple pucker and the Crown Royal, that's kind of just what this fragrance smells like. Sour apple pucker with Crown Royal. There you go. That is Apple Brandy on the rocks. It does have a little bit of a spice to it, though. which you don't get from that. I mean, Crown Royal does have a spice, so I can see that too. But both of those are legit no-brainers. I mean, they're fantastic. And then now we have three left. These three, two of them does have a very noticeable booziness. The other one, kind of. This one is Emporio Armani's Stronger With You, Absolutely. Stronger With You, Absolutely is the Stronger With You DNA with the vanilla, with that glazed chestnut, and then you just add this kind of darker rum. And it's richer, it's smoother. This has always been, until the Parfum came out, this was always known as one of the best, if not the best, Stronger With You out there. My favorite Stronger With You Freeze, but for the cool weather ones, Stronger With You Absolutely was always my favorite. Now it's between this and the Parfum, but if you're looking for a boozy Stronger With You, it's boozy, it's nutty, it's vanilla, it's sweet, but not too sweet. It has a masculine tone to it, but not overly masculine. It's basically just Stronger With You intensely with a dialed down vanilla, add in some rum, and then you have it more for the grown-ups. While Stronger With You intensely is just kind of like that amped up vanilla to 100 for the younger kids. But Stronger With You Absolutely, nice rum note. Going into this one is pretty much the only one that I like from the house. I'll be honest with you. I've tried a bunch from the house. Some of them are good. Just this is the only one that I find full bottle worthy. I also don't like rose, and most of their DNAs are centered around rose. But anyway, this one is Triumph of Bacchus by Argos. Starts out a bit fruity from the peach. Turns into like a red tobacco meets Parfums de Marly Carlisle spices. So it's tobacco, it's ambery, it's rich, it's spicy, nutmeg, unique spices, nutmeg, cinnamon, stuff like that. And then mash that all together and then just sprinkle on a bit of this warm and rich booziness. That's what it is, and it's so freaking good. It's my favorite tobacco scent outside of Parfums de Marly Herod. I love this stuff. The fruitiness, the spice, just it's everything nice. That's Triumph of Bacchus. Trying not to keep you guys here all day. Obviously, that has a beautiful bottle too. But the last one, also one of the ones that does have a good amount of booze. I also, even though it's just rum, it does smell like it's rum and bourbon in my opinion. But the rum is definitely forward. If you get rum, it usually comes across the warm, rich, and spicy. Kind of like the last two I mentioned. The rum usually comes across warm, boozy, spicy, and that's what this one does as well. It is by Initio. It's Side Effect. This is cinnamon bark, rum, tobacco, saffron, sandalwood, and hedoin. A lot of the ones you'll find in this list have the saffron, have the rum, have the amber. Those are usually the ones that are the most popular in the fragrance community. Like this one, the Stronger With You, the Bourbon Street, Killian Angel Share, the Rich Warm Addictive. They all have that same style when it comes to that rum or bourbon style because they're more of the warm and richer booziness. This one, this is probably the most, I don't know, Angel Share obviously, but of like, this has the most spice and booze mixed together. And it's a very noticeable rum. As soon as you spray it on, you know it's boozy. When it dries down, the rum subsides and becomes more of a background nuance. But Initio Side Effect, I love the cinnamon, amber, and rum mixture. It's absolutely beautiful. There's nothing that I would say against it, but I'm glad this person kind of told me to do this because now I know that I need to add some more non-discontinued boozy fragrances because, again, I would have probably only 3 on this list if I was able to include discontinued fragrances because there's some really good ones that were discontinued. But with that said, I mean, we got Angel Share, we got Bourbon Street, we got Side Effect, we got Triumph of Bacchus, Rich Warm Addictive, Distillers Blend. I think that's a good list. And then like the Watermelon Shine. But yeah, all very, very good fragrances. Again, if you want something boozy, if you're looking for something that's heavy on the booze, I still, again, wouldn't go with the Virgin Island water. Bvlgari Man In Black's not overly boozy. The Zerjoff's not overly boozy. But out of all of the other ones, I mean, Side Effect and Stronger With You, the two Killians, the Bourbon Street, Cremo, Rich Warm Addictive, they all have a really good amount of booze that you can notice it. And most of them are rum. Some of them are bourbon, but for the most part, I don't have any vodkas or anything. I've tried a few, haven't really cared for them. But yeah, I've never tried a tequila one either. It's interesting. I always wondered if there is one out there. But somebody let me know what's the best tequila fragrance if there is one. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.